It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you with a live, impromptu talk with my broken headphones that are held up by my beanie. It should be a or it should be a Raider beanie. But hey, let's talk for a little bit. Cause we got a problem. We got a problem going on. That's right. Many people don't think we do, but we do. We got a problem going down. And it's a Raider Geno Smith problem. What's going on with Geno Smith and the Raiders? Why hasn't he signed a contract? Why hasn't there been an extension? We're going to go over some theories and talk about it a little bit while we're live. But please do me a favor for the people that's online early, like Ruben Nava. What's up, Ruben? Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Support your boy to buy some fucking tacos. Try to get some love for our Raiders moving forward. Appreciate y'all. But I'm trying my phone and my headphones with the microphone, and I'm trying to make it work for a live stream because I haven't went live or talked about the Raiders in a couple of weeks. So, what's the Geno Smith problem? Why hasn't he signed a contract? It's freaking me the fuck out. I am not a fan of Geno Smith. If you guys watch my reaction video, I am not happy. Why? Because he comes at a hefty price tag. We all knew that he wanted around $45 million from Seattle, and they didn't give it to him, so they let him walk. And then we got Pete Carroll that gave up a third round pick to pick up Geno Smith while he's on his final year of his contract. And the money just got recently guaranteed $31 million total. But there was rumblings that the Raiders should have signed the contract and an extension for Geno Smith right away. But they didn't. Why is that? Let's talk some theories. Is there an actual problem brewing for the Raiders in Jeff Spytek's new era? What's up, Frankie? What's up, Frankie? Love you, brother. Is there a new problem starting out in Jeff Spytek and Pete Carroll era? I mean, are the Raiders gonna Raider? Is that what the fuck is going on? Raiders are gonna Raider. Why don't we have a contract, an extension for Geno Smith if he's our guy? Oh, Mikey, they're waiting for this, they're waiting for that. It makes no business sense. If you're going to give up a third round pick to get Geno Smith, the extension, the details should have been ironed out before that pick was made, not after. Not after. That's bad business. There's many theories that we're going to talk about on today's show of what might actually be happening. But I'm pissed off. And you know when Mikey Raider gets pissed off, I need to go live. I need to talk my shit. Because when I don't understand something, I just got to speak it into existence. Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, you're always hating on the Raiders, Mikey. I don't want to, but I don't get it. Maybe with a little bit of time, I will understand this situation. But from the fucking jump, I didn't want Geno to be our quarterback. He's a Derek Carr. Statistically, he's a Derek Carr, if not a little bit better in some ways and whatever. But we all know they want to reunite Geno Smith with Pete Carroll. That's fine. Geno Smith had a good year in yardage last year. That's fine. Geno Smith is coming into his own in his, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th year, whatever it may be. That's fine. But the point of the contracts, and what's up, Rocio Burgos and Frankie? We should have never got our hopes up as Raider fans. Facts. Facts. But look, he's on a 1 year contract, Geno Smith. Okay, 25 million this year, and with all the guarantees, it went up to $31 million for the Raiders. I haven't looked at it, but I think the Raiders somehow got around 50 or $51 million in cap space, but we all know that's not real because there's another 7 or 8 million that goes to the rookie class, so that brings it down to like 42 million. And we all know, well, people that watch my show know that, what's up, Lopez Boyd's dad? We all know that Mark Davis tries to save $30 million legally every year on cap space. So if the Raiders got 50 million, another 7, 8 million goes to the rookie draft pool. That brings us down to 42, and the Raiders legally can save 30 to 35% or 32 million, 33 million, something like that. Legally, they don't have to spend it. They only have to spend 82% of their cap. That's the NFL law. So I know, watching the Raiders' history, that we're going to keep 25 to 35 million dollars on the books this entire year. It happened 3 years in a row. It's going to happen this year. So there ain't much more going to happen. But long story short, what's up, Johnny Bowser? Good to see you on this channel. Long story short, Geno Smith is getting $31 million on a final year of his deal, and that $31 million was guaranteed a week ago. But it's not really guaranteed because he hasn't officially signed on the dotted line. So I started to question what's happening with Geno Smith. Then I saw a post by Raiders Beat. I think it's in the thumbnail. What the hell has happened to Geno Smith? Why have we not got a contract signed? Why has there not been an extension? Okay, let's go through the basics. Do it with me. He's already under contract for the Seattle Seahawks, but he was traded to the Raiders. So the truth is, we don't need him to sign a contract. We got him on contract for a third-round pick. We got him on a 1 year deal. We already got him on a 1 year deal. And he's coming to the Raiders to be a bridge quarterback. What's up, Aaron Farrell and Edward Bovak? So, we got a quarterback this year on a 1 year deal without needing to give him an extension. Would the Raiders have done that to Geno Smith? Have extension talks failed? Is he requiring $40 to $45 million as he stated with the Seahawks before he was traded? Is he negotiating that amount of money? The Raiders aren't going to pay that. That's my perspective because they try to save money. And again, if we got 50 million in cap space, $7 million goes to the rookie class. That brings us at 42. He's already on the books for 31. And if we added 45 or 40, that's another 9, 10, 12, $13 million, however you want to look at it. That would bring us down to like 30 million. Yeah, they can take some of the money, put it up front, and work a deal. But the point is, the minute they traded for Geno Smith, it proved to me they are not drafting a quarterback in the first round. That's what it proved to me. Of course, if a Shadur Sanders fell to the Raiders at 6, they'd probably take him. No doubt in their mind. Are they waiting for the draft to sign an extension for Geno? Are they waiting to see if Shadur falls to them? Because if Shadur falls to them and they want him, They don't have to give Geno Smith an extension. They can keep him on the 1 year deal that we already got going for the $31 million or $25 million on the books. And we can have Shadur as the backup for 1 year, see how Geno Smith does, and then we'll know what we have in Geno Smith. If he plays really good, we have a good problem. We got Aiden O'Connell backup, we got Shadur Sanders backup, and we got Geno Smith. That's a good quarterback room. But the problem is, if we are waiting for the draft to see what happens to give Geno Smith an extension, that could blow up in our face like nothing. Because what could happen is, if we don't extend Geno Smith right now, he's going to be disgruntled. He probably already is. What if Shadur Sanders doesn't fall to us at 6? We're not going to trade up to get him. We're not going to trade up to get him because we got Geno Smith at least for 1 year, technically. Then, if we don't get Shadur Sanders and we got Geno Smith on a 1 year deal, well, then they're probably going to have to extend Geno Smith because we weren't able to get Shadur Sanders, who we truly wanted, at number 6 to have Geno on a 1 year deal as a bridge quarterback. But if we don't get Shadur, then maybe we're going to find out that the Raiders are willing to pay $40 to $45 million for Geno Smith on an extension. That's the only thing I could think about. That's what's going on. It's really, really weird that they haven't announced a Geno Smith extension. And if Geno Smith is not extended, we don't draft Shadur Sanders in the first round, he's still going to be disgruntled. He might be a camp holdout, trade me, this and that. We're looking at problems, y'all. We need to find out about an extension in the next 15 days. And if we don't, that proves they're waiting for the draft and they want to see what happens in the draft. And is Geno Smith cool with all this? Hopefully they know what the Raiders are actually doing, but it's really, really weird publicly for Geno Smith not to have an extension. Could the Raiders be playing hardball? Keep him on a 1 year deal, make him play. You want to play for the Raiders? You're going to keep that $25 million deal, that 31 guaranteed or whatever it might be on your final year, and you're going to play for the Raiders. And we're going to draft a Jackson Dart in the end of the first or the second or wherever these players are available, and you're going to have to deal with it, fucking Geno Smith. We got you on a 1 year deal for $25 or $31 million, and you're going to have to deal with it. That's what I do. But again, why give up a third round pick for Geno Smith if you're not going to give him an extension? And why hasn't it been announced? The Raiders possibly don't want to reveal their cards. They don't want to reveal. You got to move some of these people out of here. Hey, all my moderators, move these idiots out of here that want to talk shit about body shaming. Um, so yeah, let me know why Geno Smith hasn't got an extension. What are some of your theories? I really want to know. I don't understand it. John L. Davis, it would pay up to maybe $25 million a year, and if he wants more, then let's see how you do during the season first. It's so interesting, guys. John L. Davis, how much do I think Geno is worth? To me, the $25 million he's getting, or the 31. I think it's 31 total. That's what he's worth. John L. Davis, you said because he probably wants over $35 million a year. I get that. He does want that. But again, if the Raiders were smart, they knew that before they traded for him. They knew that before they traded for him. So what's the fucking holdup? What's up, Rebel Raider? Good to see you, brother. Raider Nation for life. There will be more options next season at quarterback. If we miss put on Shadur, Geno's not worth that much. All right. Detroit fan man kind of smells like Raiders are trying to avoid the problem the Falcons found themselves in. That Kirk Cousins deal set the whole NFL back. That's a good point, Detroit fan man. That's right. They signed Kirk Cousins to like 4 or 5 year deal, hundred and something $1 million, and then they drafted a rookie quarterback, and now there's a possibility of that quarterback playing instead of Kirk Cousins, and they still have to keep Kirk Cousins on the roster. You're exactly correct. Fidel, does it concern you that Gianti couldn't pass block in a weak conference? I'm not that intelligent with the rookie players and all that information, Fidel. I'm just being honest. Um, I mean, if he's highly ranked by all the experts at number 6 going to the Raiders, let's be honest, you have to respect some of the experts. So I would say it does if it doesn't concern them for the Raiders draft to draft him at 6, probably shouldn't concern me. A lot of people don't want to believe the experts, but let's be honest, they predicted the Raiders to win like 3, 4, 5, 6 games the past 2 or 3 years, and we did exactly that. So they got to be right. They got to be right. Something's going on. So they're kind of correct. R and Pharrell, dude, you're right. Pete Carroll has been really quiet for some reason. But how many coaches are actually talking right now instead of grinding? But that being said, it's just, did you notice after Geno was traded to the Raiders, he started all of a sudden doing pictures with Shadur Sanders and other quarterbacks and other players, like on social media and all that other stuff? What message was he sending? What message was he sending, Geno Smith, to the Raiders or anybody by taking a picture with Shadur Sanders? Is it him or me? They were standing next to each other in a photo. It's like, what does that mean? Oh, we're the next Raiders? That's what they told me. The Raiders told me they're going to try to draft Shadur Sanders. So he's going to be my backup. So let me take a picture with Shadur because he's going to be my backup. And we're going to build a chemistry here. I don't know. It's just interesting, guys, because I don't really understand why Geno Smith hasn't got an extension. Um, it's really starting to smell fishy. Like they didn't have a correct plan going into it, or the plan was like thrown askew. Because this kind of feels like the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, but not that Geno Smith will fail a physical like Garoppolo did. But remember, they were going to have a press conference for Garoppolo, and then that day he failed the physical or whatever, so they had to delay it for a couple of days. It's just, why has this been delayed? Why has Geno Smith not had a press conference to be announced as the Raiders quarterback that we traded for when we're doing it with all the other free agent players? But Geno Smith has not done a press conference. What the fuck? Well, we want to officially sign him before we have a press conference and all that. Why wasn't the information done when you traded for him? So he can get into the building, you can work on a contract that day, it's done, it's already settled. Then you have a press conference once the news was revealed. What the fuck? Now we're all speculating. Some people are saying it's for draft leverage. They don't want to reveal their hand. They want people to think the Raiders are going to draft a quarterback. That's why they don't want to sign the quarterback with an extension officially, because the Raiders are going to, try to hope players fall to them. Because if they think we still need a quarterback, then they're going to move up in the draft to 3, 4, or 5, and a quarterback needy team will think the Raiders need a quarterback, so they're going to move up and try to draft Shadur or whoever else. So that way, a player like a defensive player, an offensive tackle, will fall to the Raiders, and that's who we truly want. Because technically, we already got Geno Smith. You get it? It's like strategy, where they're hoping those players fall to us, or there's a problem there with contracts. and negotiations. And Geno Smith feels like this is his last contract in his career before he's found out that he's actually not as good as they make him out to be. And he's going to try to get as much money he can on his possible final contract in the NFL. And the Raiders ain't going for it. So there's a possible contract stall. It could be anything. Let me know your thoughts. Um, John L. Davis, I'd draft Mason Graham over Genty if he's there. If your coach is chatty in March, he usually is home chilling in January. That's a good point, Detroit fan man. Giants signed Russell. Did they? Wow, that's interesting. Is that news today? Because I know they signed Jamarcus Russell. No. What's the guy's name from New Orleans? The eats W's? Oh, Jamison Winston. They signed. Did I just say Jamarcus Russell? Wow, that's a Raider throwback. I should have mentioned. Should not have mentioned. But Jameson Williams went to the Giants, so now they got Russell Wilson. Is that true? Yep, Mikey, something's up. Edgar V says it's a 1-year deal for Geno or for Russell Wilson. I'm a little confused. Queen Mother, what's up, Queen Mother? How you doing on this blessed, beautiful day? Dante, I'm hoping Travis Hunter falls, please. He won't. He ain't getting past 3 or 4. No way Travis Hunter is getting past 3 or 4. But, dude, that'd be amazing. True, letting others panic can help us get more picks. Maybe they already agreed upon something. I doubt that is the reason, though. I don't think the Raiders have people in the room that are smart enough to do, like, psyops for the draft, where, we're going to make them think we need a quarterback and a player's going to fall to us. That's fucking psyop, FBI, intelligent shit. The Raiders aren't intelligent. Let's just be honest. Raiders ain't that fucking intelligent. They're just not. They haven't proven to be. And I'm gonna take it as, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? I'm okay with leaving Geno Smith on a 1-year deal, making that motherfucker earn it to become a free agent at the end of the year. Because that means he wants to make a ton of money next year. If we don't give him a ton of money right now, he's gonna be mad. We're possibly gonna force him to play on a 1-year deal, because ain't no quarterback going to leave $30 million on the table to not play. That's like almost $1.5 million or more every game. No quarterback's going to hold out the entire season and lose that much money. And if they do, we draft a fucking quarterback in the second round or the first round or wherever we can get one. And we got Aiden O'Connell. We're like, fuck it, Geno, be a bitch. Go ahead, Geno, be a bitch. We got you. If you don't want to play, you ain't going to get that money. But then sometimes we might be able to force a player to play on that final year, and they're going to bet on themselves. So he's going to bet on himself to play good and have another great year, to where the Raiders either have to sign him again in free agency for a ton of money, a ton of guaranteed money, or we trade him. And if we traded him, we get a second-round pick for him or a third-round pick. And then we drafted a rookie quarterback, and now we got our future. And we got Geno Smith on a fucking 1-year deal, and then he balled out, played pretty decent, and we got rid of him, and we didn't have to spend a lot of money. That's now that I talked that theory through, that's what I would do. I'm a bitch like that. That's what I would do. Are the Raiders doing that? They should, because that means our team is getting younger, cheaper, and possibly better. Even if we lost Geno Smith on a fantastic year, we have a rookie backup, and we get a third-round pick for him again. So we got our capital back that we traded for him initially. And now we got a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal that might be the next quarterback. And if Geno Smith leaves in free agency after next year, after having a good year, so be it. We got another rookie draft class coming in, and we're going to have more veteran free agents that are available next year. And fuck it. We're getting cheaper, younger, and possibly better. That's what the Raiders have been doing. So the more I think about that theory that I just spoke of, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Sorry, y'all. I go on a tangent. Dante, what's up, Dante? I'm hoping Travis Hunter falls, please. True, letting others panic can help us get more picks. If they already agreed upon something, I doubt that is the reason, though. I watched Tony. We have a shot to compete. That's all I hope for now. Just now. Okay, James, you're talking about the Russell Wilson. Okay, I'll check that out later. Who's Rodgers gonna sign with? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I wouldn't have mind Aaron Rodgers with the Raiders. I wouldn't have minded. Rodgers is going to the Steelers, I imagine. 1 year deal for Russell. Um, 1 year deal for Russell Wilson. Michael McLean. Wilson signed a 1 year deal with the Giants. Okay. What's up, Frost? F. Geno Smith. He's a Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I said it. Ben Rojas, what's good, Mikey? What's up, Ben? 21 million, 10 guaranteed for Russell Wilson, I'm assuming. All right, thank you guys for the info. Thank you guys for the info. Um, who you hoping the Raiders take at 6? To be honest with you, Shedeur Sanders. That's who I'm hoping for. I just spoke out the theory with the Geno Smith. Whether I like Shedeur Sanders or not, I really don't. There's drama associated with Shedeur Sanders. That's why he's falling. That's why his father, Dion, the other day had to make a press conference where he goes, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Man, Shedeur Sanders did it all. He did everything. I'm not worried. I'm blessed, baby. They are worried because he is falling on draft boards because now all the problems with Shedeur Sanders outside of football as well are creeping in. But still, I would like Shedeur Sanders at number 6. I'd like to have Geno Smith on this 1 year deal. And yeah, I think that would solidify our quarterback position at least for 2 or 3 years if it all works out. Again, Geno Smith might be gone, but fuck it, we got Shedeur to sell tickets, and hopefully he pans out. But being realistic, man, I would love that defensive tackle to be available at 6. I'd love Travis Hunter to be available at 6. Um, but right now, from the experts, I would draft either an offensive lineman that's high up on the board or a wide receiver that's high up on the board. Best player available is what I'm trying to say. Should we go at position of need or should we get best player available? I would go best player available, but we got too many fucking needs. And hopefully there's a best player available at a position of need for the Raiders and they can select that same exact person. And oh, I'm gonna go live during the draft if my health persists and I'm alive. I'm gonna go live during the draft. Hopefully, you guys will spend it with me. We'll have ourselves a better day. Um, no, he's better than Minshew. He's Derek Carr with scrambling ability from time to time. That's a good comparison for Geno Smith. Russell Wilson signed 1 year deal with the Giants. No, you're talking. Younger, cheaper, and better. Seems like a successful strategy. If it only worked, if only it worked to make my next wife. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Geno is mid for a big contract. I'd rather go the draft route like a competent team. I'd even try to move up in the draft and get Jackson Dart. Like if we drafted a player at 6 for need, fuck it, sell the farm. Not the farm, but like sell up a couple of picks or something and move up into the first round, the late first, maybe get Jackson Dart. That way we possibly get a wide receiver, an offensive tackle, or a running back, and then we pair them with a future quarterback. Um, but it is going to cost us. But who cares? The Raiders don't draft properly anyway throughout history, or at least the past 10, 15, 20 years. So what does it fucking matter if we give up a couple of seconds or a first round next year to move back up in the draft to get a quarterback that we wanted? I don't mind it. But I wouldn't mind if the Raiders tried to move up from 6 to like 3 to draft Shadur, I I think that would be stupidity. I think that would be stupidity. If the Raiders moved up from 6, gave up a first round pick or 2 or this or that to move up to 3 to get like 3 or 2 or get Shadur Sanders, that would be like, oh fuck, Raiders gonna Raider. Oh, you go out and get Geno Smith only to trade our future first round draft picks to move up to get Shadur Sanders. Huh? Oh, he's the next Patrick Mahomes, Shadur Sanders. We want to have him like he was on the Kansas City Chiefs when they had not Carson Wentz, that other quarterback, the white quarterback that he stood behind. I can't think of his name. Why did I just racially divide white people right there? The white quarterback. Oh my God, the mainstream world has got me dividing people. Oh, white people. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. I can't think of his name. The guy that was the quarterback for Kansas City that came from the 49ers, I believe. Can't think of his name. I heard there's a trade in the works for the Raiders to get Josh Allen. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, you're nuts. Love you though. Pete and Gino have a great relationship. I think there has been discussion with Smith about expectations prior to his signing. Well, that's a good belief, James, that you believe that. Um, I mean, you're right. Pete Carroll had to have talked to Geno Smith about something. Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wait till the draft pans out. We're going to figure out the quarterbacks in free agency, how much they signed for. We're going to assign a value to you. We're going to do all this other stuff. And then, we're going to play it by ear. But you're going to get an extension and all this. And then maybe Geno agreed. Maybe Geno and Pete have talked about it. They know what's going on. But that would be giving the Raiders a lot of fucking credit. Raiders are going to rate him. And Geno Smith, if he publicly said he wants $45 million to play for the Seahawks, and they are technically a better organization than we have been, if he wants $45 million to play for the Seahawks, who have a better team, well, now technically we're probably a worse team. You think he's not going to want $45 million to play for the Raiders? So, kind of doesn't make sense when you think about it. So they had to have told him, Pete Carroll probably lied to him, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We're going to get you $45 million. Be our quarterback. And if he did that to Geno Smith, and they're going to fuck Geno Smith and keep him on a 1-year deal, oh shit, that shit is going to hit the fan. Again, I'm speculating, but it's fun. Oh, Mikey Raider, you think too much. You're always speculating. Relax, it's fun. This shit is fun for me sometimes. To yell and to rant and to rave, even though my blood pressure goes up and it's not good for me. And after this video, I'll probably have to rest for 2 hours. It's fun. It's fun to speculate. That's what I think, though. We got Geno on a 1-year deal, and we draft Dart in the 2nd and Genty in the 1st. Okay, let's think about that, Edgar. Again, that's what I think, too. But Geno Smith, if we only got him on a 1-year deal and he knows it, he would have never agreed to come to the Raiders. But he doesn't have to agree. Seattle can trade him. He probably had a no trade clause, now that I think about it. But Geno's pissed. If that's the deal, Geno's pissed. I don't think Geno agreed to be on a 1-year deal. That's all I'm going to say. No player in the right mind would agree. They would tell Seattle, trade me to a team where I can get an extension. So, yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. AR to the Vikings, it seems. Oh, Rodgers to the Vikings. Yeah, that's true. They don't want to see it, Mikey. Rebel Raider, we're going to F around and get F. We're going to get a running back in round 1. Dude, there's so many running backs in the draft, though. Apparently, I just watched the draft show maybe earlier today where there's like according to the experts, there's like 26 running backs that they believe should be drafted that are worthy of an actual draft pick. I'm sorry, it's 29. 29 running backs that are worthy of a draft pick. Then they said around 10 to 12 or 13 that they believe could be drafted in the first 3 rounds. That's almost half of the 29 that they believe have a first or second or third round grade. There's going to be plenty of running backs. We don't have to get Gentry. We don't have to. But again, the Raiders have to pick the number one player at any position to get any value because we have proven without a shadow of a doubt that we don't know how to draft correctly when it comes to depth. If the Raiders don't get the number one running back on all the experts' boards, we don't find people all the time. We probably got a 3% chance of finding an actual starting running back with the Raiders' history of fucking drafting. So that's why it worked with Josh Jacobs, is because he was like all the experts pick. And we got him in the first round as the first running back. So the Raiders probably have to draft the number one running back in the first round at number 6, or the wide receiver in the first round at number 6, the best wide receiver, because we have not proven we know how to draft. We have not proven it. Yeah, we've gotten lucky with players like Max Crosby. And why did I call it lucky? Because I ain't going to call it a skill set with John Gruden or whoever else drafted at that time. I'm not going to call it a fucking skill set because it's not. They got lucky. They got one of the baddest mofos, energetically and stuff like that, with a chip on his shoulders in the third round from Max Crosby. And again, we got Derek Carr in the second round. He was the best quarterback at that time, best player available, and we had a need. Well, we didn't really have a need. He beat out whatever the guy's name was, Matthew or something like that. He beat him out in that preseason game. He was throwing bombs. Bam! Derek Carr won that fucking starting job in that game. Bam! 4 touchdowns in that fucking game versus Seattle. Bam! That's when I became a Derek Carr fan. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I'm a Derek Carr fan. That dude was cool. He subscribed to my YouTube channel. One of the first athletes, and he hit me up and he sent me sermons when I was struggling. I love you, Derek Carr. Rooting for you, brother. Hunter too small. It's going to be okay, Mikey. Best player and no offensive lineman. We drafted a bunch of them past few years. Pete Carroll probably like, damn, I should stay retired. This quarterback class is weak. 2026 is better. So that would work with Geno Smith on a 1-year deal. I don't give a fuck if we make Geno mad. Prove it. Become a free agent and get all the money you think you deserve. It doesn't matter what y'all do. You guys have one elite player on offense and one on defense. Y'all won't be good at least for another 5 years. All right. Who is the elite player on offense? Oh, Brock Bowers. I'm assuming. Y'all won't be good for at least another 5 years. I can't disagree with you, Ty. Can't disagree with you. He wanted $45 million with the Seahawks. That's why they traded him. Yeah, exactly. So you know he wants at least that same amount with the Raiders because we're a cheaper team. Alex Smith, that was the quarterback. Geno on a 1-year deal. Gentry in the first. Dart in the second. We're gonna have to move up for Dart. He's moving up draft boards if we're interested. As soon as I saw that Geno didn't get an extension before the deadline, I knew this was the plan. All right. But it's a bad plan, Edgar. They're kind of fucking over Geno, possibly fucking over Pete Carroll. It's not a good plan publicly for Geno or Pete Carroll. Just win, Mikey. What's up, True Raider? Grabbing Gentry won't do any good for your O-line. At the bottom of the league, and only a tight end to throw to. The play calls will be easy reads. Ty throwing out some facts. I agree. Don't go for Gentry. Get one later. I'm not in the bathroom, y'all. The bathroom's over here. So shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. The bathroom's over here. This is my little hallway. That's my mirror from my closet. And what if I was in the bathroom? You got a problem with it? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. Russell Wilson just signed with the Giants. Thank you again, Pirates Penguin. One of these guys I think will be available and should be picked before Genti, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Chandler Thomas, Mason grab. There was no point in tanking, especially if Sanders' stock is sliding. There was no point in tanking, especially if Shadur Sanders' stock is sliding. Oh, yeah. What's up, Fidel? First off, again, that tanking shit, I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I love how Mark Davis approved it in the locker room after they won that game. You know, when they lost the first overall draft pick, Mark Davis gets in the locker room. Yeah, we won a game. We lost the first overall. Go fuck yourself. Oh, and then everybody, come on, man, just win, baby. Raiders don't tank. Anybody that talks about tanking ain't a Raider fan. Oh my God, you fucking morons. Tanking ain't real. Well, technically, I agree with you. It ain't real until we make it real. Tanking can be real if they made it real. And they should have made it real. We should have continued losing every fucking game. What did those two victories that we won after give us? The sixth pick in the fucking draft. It still got Antonio Pierce fired. And that's why I think he was fired also. I think he fucking tried to win those fucking games. Get it? He didn't put in a plan of attack. I think that's why they were fired. The general manager and Antonio Pierce. Those, but you ain't gonna say that publicly. Hey, motherfuckers, you won a game. How dare you win a fucking game? I ain't gonna fire you now. I'm gonna fire you at the end of the season. But I bet you that's what Mark Davis was thinking. Fuck. We could have had so much leverage with the first pick or whatever the case may be. But again, there were still like 5 or 6 games left. Anything could have happened. Fucking ridiculous. How bad do we need a linebacker? We're getting young. We're getting young at the linebacker position. That's all I'm going to say. I like what they are saying. I appreciate it. And the linebackers that we picked up, they're young, kind of inspirational. Their stat line is as good or slightly better than the players we lost at linebacker. But it doesn't prove that we got a guaranteed starter stud, and we are still struggling. But we did get younger. And the stat line for the linebackers that we got on a cheaper deal, their stat line is similar to the players we lost. So everybody got to stop thinking that we did bad in free agency. We got younger, cheaper, and possibly players with a lot of upside. Down with the creeps. Frankie, you keep deleting messages. Just block these people, Frankie. I appreciate your faith and your whatever. Whew, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. So I'll just ask the question. Why hasn't Geno Smith signed an extension? I'm going to give 3 scenarios and you give me the answer. One, there's a holdup in negotiations and both sides can't agree. That's number one. Two, this was the plan all along. They're waiting to see how the draft pans out. And no matter what, Geno's going to get an extension, maybe before the draft or right after the draft. That's number two. Number three, they're going to have Geno Smith on a 1-year deal, and they're going to make him prove it. And they honestly don't give a fuck how Geno Smith feels. And we're going to have him as a bridge quarterback. And if we lose him, we're going to draft another quarterback. So that's number three. So 1, 2, or 3, y'all, let me know. Let me know. I'll be honest with you. In reality's sake, I think it's number two. They're going to wait for the draft, see how it pans out, what quarterbacks fall to them, or who they draft. Then they're going to negotiate a contract or an extension depending on the draft. But I want it to be number three. I want them to know they're getting a quarterback in the draft. They're going to get their guy, whether it be Shadur, Jackson Dart, or whoever. They're going to get their guy. Geno Smith's going to play for 1 year on a 1 year deal. And no matter what, we're moving forward at the end of the year. Because Pete Carroll might be on a trial too. Mark Davis might have pleased Pete Carroll by trading for Geno Smith. But Pete Carroll's probably on a trial run with Mark Davis as well. So they needed to please Pete Carroll a little bit and give him a couple of people that he wanted, and then we'll see how it works out. How Pete Carroll can handle a Geno Smith contract situation. How much better can we improve on O-line this draft? We need to. We need to. That would be my first picks. O-line. That would be my first picks. Because, again, if you're going to draft a rookie quarterback, even in the second round, or late in the first, or the third, that's a possible future quarterback, we got to build our O-line. Do we really need to build it for Geno Smith? No, that's why we traded for him, because he has running ability. And you hope he can run, but you want to make an O-line better for a younger quarterback in the future, like Aiden O'Connell if we needed to use him. That's why you'd get O-line. What's up, Gabriel Montez? Raiders fans love them some drama. Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. Because the Raiders are nothing but drama. There's nothing to see here. Pete's fine. Geno's fine. Stop crying about nothing. Well, if you don't like me getting online and ranting and raving and crying, as you call it, get the fuck out. See ya. I'm not the droid you're looking for. He's not the droid we're looking for. So I'll send you away because apparently I'm crying and I'm not having a good time. We picked how many offensive linemen in the last 5 years or so. So can we please get something else? How many offensive linemen have we picked in the last 5 years? You know what? It's probably been a 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, I got to look that history up, John L. Davis. And none of them worked out, or they got traded to the Patriots, or this or that. I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. Offensive lineman in the second. All right, any topics you guys want me to talk about before I get out of here in about 10, 12 minutes? I mean, I already ranted enough about the Geno Smith situation. I don't understand it. But like Jesus says, or the Beatles say in their song, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. True Raider, do we need anything for special teams? Yeah, coach. Rich Bisaccia, do we need anything for special teams? Dude, I'd like a kick returner. But again, with the kickoff rules and the way everything is done, I don't know if we're ever going to have one of those kick returners again in the NFL, like there was many years ago. You know, I don't think we're going to have any one of those people. We don't need a kicker. We don't need a punter. We're doing fine on special teams. Super memo: the Giants just picked up Russell Wilson. You think that will affect the draft? That's a good question, Super memo. Super memo. Hey guys, it's me, Memo. Yeah, it will affect the draft. It will affect the draft because they got a starting quarterback this year. So they don't need to reach for Shadur Sanders anymore. They don't need to reach for him because they got Jamison Williams or Winston. They got Jamison Winston. They got Russell Wilson on a 1 year deal. I think they got Jamison Williams on a 1 year deal as well. So they could draft Shadur. But if I was the Giants, that just proves they have a problem with Shadur Sanders. You get it? If they were in a prime position to take Shadur, they wouldn't have signed Russell Wilson. They would have signed Jameson Winston, but they wouldn't have signed Russell Wilson unless Russell Wilson agreed to compete in training camp with all three of them if they draft Shedeur. So, in my opinion, they're not going to draft Shedeur. Russell Wilson or Jameson Winston is going to be their quarterback. And then the Giants are going to get a quarterback in the second round, the third round, or they might even move up into the first and get like Jackson Dart or somebody like that. But they're, in my opinion, all out on Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders, there's a possibility he falls to the Raiders. And we're forced to make that decision. So Russell Wilson does affect the draft. Taylor Swift turned Kelsey into a Tinkerbell. What if Hunter falls to 6? You take him. No. Hey, Travis Hunter. Come to the Raiders. You take that motherfucker. He fills 2 needs, cornerback and wide receiver. Whether he's better at one or the other, I don't care. But how amazing would it be to have a 2-way player for the Las Vegas fucking Raiders? So if Travis Hunter fell to the motherfucking Raiders and we have a 2-way player, man, that shit would sell jerseys. That shit is Bo Jaskin X, even though he played a different sport. I'll take it. I'll take it. So if he falls to 6, Dino, we take him. Travis Hunter to the Giants, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Travis Hunter to the Giants. John L. Davis, it only takes one of the top 5 teams to reach for a player they want instead of best available. You never know. Yeah, the draft's going to be fun. We're going to make ourselves a Raider meal, a Raider recipe for this upcoming draft. I got my food stamps again. Thank you, Lord. So I'm doing a little bit better, maybe not health-wise or mental, but I'm doing a little bit better financially, a little bit. And life's looking up. So thank you all. We're going to have a good Raider recipe. We're going to hang out, watch the draft. Will I drink? Probably not. I don't know. I only drink once or twice a year. And sometimes it's during the draft, so I might drink, even though I don't. It's not good for me. Maybe I'll make some money. Y'all are paying me to get drunk while watching the draft. But we're gonna have ourselves a good draft day, and please chime into the channel, hit subscribe, become a member. I got donation portals down below. Nobody sent me a super chat during this whole fucking hour-long show. Motherfuckers are broke these days. I understand, so no worries there. But appreciate you guys for letting me rant my brain for about an hour about the Geno Smith situation, because it's kind of freaking me out, and I just don't understand it. But hey, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, Mikey Raider. Let it be. And I'm going to be coming to you guys with a Friday Raider football talk. It'll either be Friday or Saturday, but I'm going to be coming to you guys live with a Raider football talk with a newer computer that I was gifted that seems to be working pretty well. So expect that this Friday or Saturday. So hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate you guys. Super Memo said he could be the next Charles Woodson. That'd be fantastic. Fidel said rant away. Yeah, my blood pressure is boiling already, dude. I got to get going. I can only do it for so long. That's why sometimes it's easier for me to make a 10 or 15-minute video where I rant and then I just finish and upload it. But I wanted to go live, check out the headphones, see if they worked. Wanted to hang out with you guys on my phone, see if it worked. And I wanted to say I love y'all. Go Raiders, and I'll have a new Raider football talk show this week. I love you all. Thanks for hanging out. It really means the world to me. God bless. And I'm out.